What's up guys, hello and welcome to BoostVlogs. I just want to give you my initial driving impressions after installing this turbo on my car. I've had it on for 2 days now, and all I've done is some mild street tuning. I've just remapped some of the areas on the fuel map, and I've messed with the electronic boost control just a little bit. It's got a 10 PSI wastegate on it, and I'm actually running it at 10 PSI, but I tuned up the electronic boost control to get it spooling a little bit faster up to that 10 pounds. So my immediate things that I've noticed, the compressor is quieter, much quieter than the other one, and I think that's for a couple reasons. Number one, if you remember, when I installed the 2554R billet wheel, made the compressor a lot louder. Another thing is this turbo produces equivalent levels of boost while not spinning as fast. The 54R could potentially be spinning 10 to 15,000 RPM faster than this turbo to produce the same amount of boost. So I think that's why the compressor is a lot quieter. The exhaust, however, is much louder. I noticed that immediately, and that's because, as you saw in the previous video, the turbine wheel and the turbine housing are more open and less restrictive, so it does let a lot more of that exhaust sound out. And I've been running it with the muffler on. I haven't run it straight pipe yet to see how it sounds, but I'm pretty excited. It sounds really mean, honestly. I like it. The car does feel really sluggish, and I'm not disappointed because I knew that's how it was gonna be. But it's sluggish. To get to 10 pounds of boost, it's about 1,000 RPM later. It's hitting 10 pounds around 4,000 RPM. So the turbo, you know, I knew it was too big for the motor, but I really wanted to just try it and see how it is. And what I'm kind of surprised at is the power is more linear than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be, you know, just completely dead, no power, and then all of a sudden, boom, at a certain RPM, you just blast off. But that's not how it is at all. It's a really progressive power gain, and it just smoothly climbs up into boost. And I've heard that the Garrett ball bearing turbos are really notorious for doing that. You know, it's just a very slow power build, and then the boost levels off, and you're pulling, you're gone. Now, if this turbo was run at a much higher boost level, it might be like that. And I'm not really gonna run it at a crazy boost level because, you know, it's a stock engine. I am gonna crank the boost up a little bit, but that's gonna be on the dyno because I wanna make sure that I'm not going over a safe level of torque with the car, just to protect the transmission and the connecting rods. Plus, I know that with a freer flowing turbine housing, the ignition timing can be more advanced. So that's something that I really only want to play with on the dyno. Like I said, I've only done some fuel mapping changes, so it's been interesting so far. It's been fun. I love just throwing something new at the car and being able to play with the tune and stuff like that, and I just learn more doing stuff that way. One interesting thing is I compared the spool up logs of this turbo against my old Beggy China Charger, and this turbo actually spools faster than the Bell Engineering turbo. And I thought that was very interesting because this turbo can make, you know, 300, 350 wheel horsepower. That Beggy turbo was, I mean, running out of steam at 240. So very interesting, just something to think about if you're considering buying the Beggy China Charger. I always recommend going with the SR20 T25s if you're on a budget, because you can find them used for a couple $100, especially the smaller ones off the S13 and the S14 non-spec R. They're just much more suited to a Miata engine, both 1.8 and 1.6, rather than something, especially, you know, this big, or even the Beggy. That Beggy turbo just is not a well-performing turbo. So I'm gonna take this thing out and do a couple pulls with it. Like I said, it's not making as much power as I was with the 2554. I wanna wait till I get it on the dyno before I crank it up. But, you know, it's probably still at least 200 or maybe 220 wheel horsepower. It still pulls really well. So take it out, show you how it sounds. Hopefully you can appreciate the cool sounds the car makes. And it's just another step closer. Eventually I'm gonna take it to the dyno and see if this thing will break 300 wheel horsepower, and hopefully not just break. So that'll be fun, and of course I'll take you guys along with me. Okay, so I'm gonna go do a couple pulls. Honestly, the car is livable. It's still fast, it's still fun, and if you just installed a turbo this size on your stock Miata, it's gonna be awesome and fun, and you'll probably think it's great, and you won't know what you're missing by not installing a smaller turbocharger. So that's why I always just kind of recommend put the smallest turbo on your car that can get you to the horsepower that you want. Because honestly, like, all this lag for 250 horsepower is not worth it when you can put a smaller turbo on and get the same power. But anyways, I'm gonna take this thing for a spin. out for today. If you enjoy this video, drop a like on it. Don't forget to subscribe. There's gonna be more footage of the car with this turbo. I'm gonna do a back-to-back comparison with the other turbo. This is kind of the same way I did with the billet compressor wheel. I'm gonna take the car up and get it dynoed. I'll show you the difference, and I will bring you more information. I'll bring you as much information as I can to hopefully help you choose a turbo for your Miata. Thanks guys, peace out.